This is Robert Marglacci, the Mindshare Learning Report, Canada's Learning Technology e-magazine. And welcome to This Week in Canadian Coworker Mindshare TV podcast featuring our new Mindshare co-working workspace member, Sunil Sheoran. Thank you for joining us today. He's the founder and president of Clariem Insights Consulting. For a spotlight on one of our newest members. A little bit about Sheoran is a former, Mr. Sheoran is former Accenture and Bearing Point professional with over 20 years of expertise and strategy consulting experience. He's delivered multiple business transformation programs for Fortune 1000 companies and has been a trusted advisor to owners and executives of SMBs with his career anchored in business transformation. Mr. Sheoran specializes in the development and execution of supply chain strategy and innovation, scale up, and management of product life cycles. His many clients include Novartis, Estee Lauder, Amgen, Pfizer, Abbott, Boston Scientific, to name a few. And thank you for joining me, Sunil.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much.
What a fascinating career trajectory you've had. Congratulations. Thank you and welcome to the Mindshare workspace here in Erin Mills Town Center in the great city of Mississauga. Tell us a little bit about what inspired Clariem and what you guys do.
Well, we're all about solving real problems, and we like to think we solve hard problems. And it's not just about the conceptual, strategic stuff. It's also about execution of the strategy. And mainly we focus on operations strategy, and especially in global environment.
Right.
More complexity we see, more change we see, more value we can add to the clients.
Fascinating. I noted the supply chain expertise. The global supply chains have been out of whack since the onset of the pandemic. Talk to me a little bit about that whole industry and as a career path for our young people today. One of my colleagues, his nephew is the president of one of the logistics companies and is doing very well. So there are lots of opportunities in that space.
Absolutely. I think this is a great career for all the professionals, all the young people who think of themselves as thinking professionals. There's 2 or 3 big areas. One is procurement, like from all over the world, where how you buy the best product at the most optimal price. Another is just the logistics. I fall in the third area, which is more about integration of all the pieces that physically move. It's about the planning. So how you integrate the manufacturing side of things, procurement side of things, logistics side of things, and make sure all the reporting happens to the highest levels of the company. So I'm in the planning and integration side of all operations.
Fascinating. And speaking of which, the GTA has millions and millions of square feet of warehousing and logistical setups. We know Amazon is very well placed here. And a friend of mine who I played hockey with, he was actually with the original first location which I toured, which was quite fascinating. And perhaps you can talk to us a little bit about, how you came to be in the workspace and what the experience has been like thus far in being in this unique environment here in the Erin Mills Town Center.
Absolutely. It's been surprisingly better than what I expected. Being a new company, small team, you need a pleasant environment, and you need quiet workspace where you can get your head down and get to the work. So it provides us a separate area where we can quietly work. But when you want to stretch and take a little break, you got friendly faces and say hello, and you got all the amenities. With the conference room, I've interviewed a few people. I've had a couple of client meetings. So the boardroom's great, quiet workspace, and friendly people to chat during the break. So perfect.
And some of the amenities, I guess, that are intangibles.
Absolutely.
You go for a walk and all the food court and
Absolutely.
free parking there. there was a method to my madness. I guess it was really like to your
Yeah.
point, solving a real problem. I had a problem when the university needed their space back at
Mhm.
York, and I was commuting an hour each way plus.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Earth Day. I wanted to reduce my carbon footprint. So the
Beautiful.
notion of live, work, play in your own backyard. You live nearby,
Yeah, I
fairly
live
close.
only less than 10 minutes away.
Yeah,
And in fact, we had option of choosing between uh, this place and another workspace, which
right,
was more of white walls all day. So we thought this is
right.
going to be more lively. So
Yeah.
it's the great setting.
Well,
So
I'm
yeah,
so
I'm glad.
pleased that you took the leap of faith with us, and we really
It's great.
value your membership here and engagement in community. It's about
It's
community,
good community.
and we've got a great group of members that really value the experience and the community piece is really important. But convenience and being close to your family is also
Absolutely.
important, given the pandemic that we're approaching to be an endemic, we hope, fingers
Absolutely.
crossed. But you've traveled extensively.
Yeah.
The insight you bring to your clients is 20 years of travel and problem solving. What was that experience like? Do you recommend that for young people today to go to business school and study and join some of those consulting firms?
Absolutely. I think I don't know the data for sure, but I think management consulting is one of the most satisfying professions. And one of the reasons is there's never a dull day in your life. Uh, I am sometimes like tune out everything. My office could be the plane, the office could be the airport, office is client side. So when you're younger, you see all the adventures of
Right,
traveling and staying in fancy hotels and whatnot. But then depends on the lifestyle. Once you get kids and stuff, you probably don't want to travel that much.
sure.
And it's the meaningful relationships, and it's never really boring in any way. Like you're doing a repetitive job every day, you're solving some problem,
Right,
and somebody is always keeping an eye on are you adding value or not. So it's a
absolutely.
healthy pressure all the time.
Right.
So which
And we feel that too. So we
yeah.
can relate as entrepreneurs. And talk to me a little bit about some of the services that you offer. And how many years is it now for Clarium?
Clariem, I started 2009.
Wow,
So it's been
congratulations.
maybe a dozen years now.
Yeah.
So,
I hope you celebrated your 10th anniversary. We're
hey,
on our 20th
oh,
year
great.
at for Mindshare Learning, our other company, but we're approaching our fifth. We're into our fifth year. So
That's
we're not
really great.
officially our fifth anniversary.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's been a great journey. It's about we're primarily about planning, and when it comes to planning, it's about integration of multiple things,
Right.
integration of processes, and integration of different organizational groups. And in last, I guess, several years, there's always a either thin layer or robust foundation of data. uh, but essentially, it's about sometimes I feel my job is bringing common sense in large, complex environments that are changing fast.
Right.
Uh,
And
but
that happened during the pandemic. There were a lot of pivots, if I can use the term,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely,
And so you were adding clarity in perspective.
absolutely. I really like the way he said it. Clarity. That's actually the root of our company's name, Clariem. Once you have the clarity, then it's all about execution speed. So clarity and
Excellent.
speed. That's where we kind of
Fascinating.
focus the key idea. Yeah.
And so you've got a number of services that you wrap around the consulting. And so talk to me about what's next. Are you, as we get back into the travel saddle? I've got 4 trips next month, believe it
Yeah.
or not. It's crazy. And then you've got the online elements that continue on. So it presents some challenges, doesn't it, for organizations?
Yes, it does. The interesting thing is, in last couple of years, after the pandemic, people are getting used to the hybrid model of working.
Right.
So it's in our case, it's always about deep relations with the clients. So once we have worked for a few months, it previously we used to travel every week. now it is okay. We travel like
Right.
once in a month or 2 months, and once you know your places like New York, Chicago, Columbus, these are few cities that we frequently travel, so we know our way around. And with more, I mean, try to minimize the travel, but it's always a balance.
And
It's
now
always a balance.
leveraging the online component
Online, absolutely,
is powerful. So you can reduce the travel once you establish a relationship. I
absolutely.
was just in Nashville at one of the annual conferences, COSIN, Consortium of
Mhm.
Schools Networking, where we met up with CTOs and CIOs and superintendents of technology. And meeting new people is important in
Mhm.
establishing those
Absolutely.
relationships. But it also is helpful when you want to connect virtually. You don't need to go meet them specifically.
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about the importance of professional learning and adapting skills, upskilling. That's something that we're accustomed to in the education space because the tools are always, there's a smart board behind us, thanks to
Yeah.
smart technologies. Tools are always evolving and you have to stay current.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, one of the key things in my mind about business is speed, and there's plethora of tools all around, and stuff is always changing. So in our industry, when we are solving problems, learning is sort of the game. If you're a knowledge business, if you're continually not growing, we get left behind. So learning is sort of second nature to us. I mean,
Right.
there hasn't been probably any day, or they might be exaggerating, maybe every week I learn two or three new things. So
Right.
there's this is just like nature of the game.
And that speaks to the growth mindset.
Growth mindset,
and
absolutely.
and that's something that needs to be nurtured in school. That should
Absolutely.
be an outcome at a
Absolutely.
young age to understand, help kids understand the way they learn and most effective ways they learn. And one of the things that we talk about now that's really prevalent at the OECD education group, very respected not for profit in Europe, they talk about digital equity. So,
Interesting.
right? So,
Mhm.
if teachers are competent, the successful teachers
Mhm.
make a priority for digital equity, leveling the playing field for all kids to
Mhm.
learn using the right tools, technology tools at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely. So to me, it is about tools, and but even behind the tools, it's about the growth mindset you just mentioned.
Yeah.
uh, I can't overstate it. I mean, it's so obvious. If you've got fixed mindset, you're not going to go anywhere. So
Right.
that's like the foundation of your career
And
growth.
for entrepreneurship,
Oh, you can't be an entrepreneur with
right?
a with a
I
fixed
mean,
mindset.
we did something that had never been done. We put a
Yeah.
workspace infused with, a maker space in a shopping mall. My family thought it was a little crazy. I did three Dragons Den presentations to three kids that were in
Oh,
business school,
that's
and my
nice.
wife, who's with municipal government, and finally they embraced it. But sometimes people don't see the vision,
Yeah.
and that it's about storytelling.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so glad. I mean, this is you're on the front end of the curve. Uh, Commercial real estate is being more and more used by the services now
Yeah,
with with this retail real estate. As more and more stuff is going online, we can buy electronics and everything online. So this becomes a great place for services.
that's
This,
right.
this I never imagined in the mall I would have such a beautiful office. So
Yeah.
this would work out perfect.
Well, thank you for that. And next door, we might be putting a golf simulators.
There
So
you go.
we've
Perfect.
got some plans for expansion. Innovation is our part of our DNA. Is it is
Perfect.
yours? Congratulations on your success
Well,
and
thank you very much.
sustainability after 11 years or so. And with that, I want to thank you, Sunil, for your time this
Thank you very
afternoon.
much,
Let you
Robert.
get back to your Zoom calls. And that was Sunil. Um, Sunil from Clariem, and my name is Robert Margolacci of the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out Mindshare Learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.